Oh, started really slow this time. Hello. Hi.
Hey.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to
This
Crypto
is where
Talks.
we is this where we get told that we're late?
Just give it a few
Oh,
seconds. I'm sure
oh,
it's
no,
gonna
no,
come
no,
back.
hang on, no, this is perfect. Plippy's late.
Oh, oh no! Ping him on Discord, man. Just ping him right now,
Yeah,
right now.
happening.
22 seconds late right now. it's totally happening. Make it an announcement too. Just at just
Oh,
ping him in there in the announcement. Hey, everybody!
the
Look who's
announcement.
late. Perfect. All right. Cool. So, anyway, hi. We're finally back. We took a 4-week break, um, for various reasons that we're not going to get into too much, but we're super happy to be back. And a lot of stuff has actually happened since the past month, and it looks to us at least like our prediction, our fairly long-term prediction, is playing out pretty much exactly the way we thought, which makes us very happy.
Exactly as predicted.
It doesn't. We're not happy necessarily because we think we're going to make a bunch of money on it. It's more like we can now smile smugly and
Well,
be
it's
like,
funny. You're only as
told you.
you're only as good as your last trade, and
Yeah.
so we'll discuss more that a bit that.
Speaking of
more
which,
as we
it's
go through it.
actually just now just jumped $70.
Ooh.
Bitcoin just jumped $70 in a few seconds just now. Just went boop boop.
There
So
you go.
I'm just gonna.
You can stick my screen on for a
Oh,
second.
are you? Do you have this
I've
second
got
thing on?
I've got the second chart running, so this is a very nice view.
This is a
When
fun view,
fun things
everybody.
are happening, and it actually
Volatility is happening.
and this is a good point of where you can actually see the real time volatility. And you can see these price jumps. These are essentially seconds where there's no liquidity within these price gaps, and that's why the price is moving so rapidly.
Yep.
And so
And
as
then
this
there's a reaction.
yeah. So this pump's happened. You see it happen within 3 seconds.
Yeah.
And that's
you can see where somebody has a larger buy order.
Yeah.
You see how flat the price is right there? Just a couple of seconds ago, has just flattened
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
That's
one
somebody's
person.
larger buy order. That's one person probably having just one big buy order. And yeah, it seems to be moving. But we're gonna leave this chart for a second and jump on to the one that everybody recognizes. And by the way, hi Marcy, hi Imre. It's good to see you guys. We're happy to be back. Happy to see you guys again. So we're gonna see. Let's see. How do I do that? It's been so long. It's been 84 years, or whatever the Titanic quote is, right?
Yeah, 84.
All right, cool. So everybody recognizes this. This is the chart that we never changed this. We just changed it whenever there is a breakout out of any pattern that we've discussed for a long time, and then suddenly there's a change, and then we change our stuff, right? As you should do, at least in our opinion. So what we have here is currently, it's been playing through this wedge right here, or this channel. It's more like a channel, I would say. And we've always been talking about, or at least since, I guess you could say, since it broke out here, since March 17th, when it broke out of this fib level right here, and this range that we keep talking about all the time right here. And we've been saying for a long time that we need to see some type of correction down back into it to retest this fib level, because we did have some very strong support right here and right here. Hope that's visible for everybody, by the way. I'm not sure. So we have this, and now we're finally again retesting this, which is what our prediction was. We wanted to see that come down again and hit that. And just so happens that it actually is bouncing exactly on, remove these circles here, actually bouncing exactly on a few very important levels here. So we got the fib level right here. It's not an exact science, with the fib level, it's just a general area there, right?
So with all of these things, see them as support zones rather than support prices, and you can have these drops through. As you could see on the second chart, you can have these periods where there's very little liquidity, but there are stops get triggered. People are actively trading. That people will come in and buy these dips. Oh, we just broke up higher again.
Seems like a 27, 26.9. You know what? I'm actually going to zoom in just a little bit here, just for fun. Now that stuff is actually happening.
Just for funsies.
But remember, you guys, we don't normally zoom in this much because then we get these quick reactions, right? It's like, oh, something's happening. I better buy now, and then you buy, and then it falls over, and you kind of. I'm not saying we do that. I'm saying a lot of people do that. A lot of people do that. So don't zoom in too much, okay? But yeah, it seems like we've woken up here in the past hour.
It's fun to watch, though. So
it is fun. We can pull up the hourly chart, second chart later on, just for funsies and see what happens with it. But for now, I'm just going to stay with this. So what we're seeing here now is, first of all, we have the bounce in the fib level. We have a bounce on this downtrending support line right here within this channel. And we also bounce on this one here, which is anchored right here from here. Since the start of the year here, after the bank run, SVB bank run happened right here, we had a bounce, and we're coming up and testing that again together with it's basically three trend lines that are correlating, or what's it called, whatever, you know what I mean.
Confluence.
And confluence. Thank you. I'm Swedish. Cut me some slack. So right now, I also noticed something. I usually do this whenever there's a big run up. I usually pull a shorter term fib level to see, okay, where might we have some support if it comes down a little bit. I did that. I think I pulled it all the way from over here, actually, from the daily close, and I pulled it up to this one first. And daily close, there we go. And I'm not sure how visible this is, but right here you can see this green line right here. That's the 0.5 where we bounced pretty hard. We wicked down to that. We bounced pretty hard on that, which was very nice. And I did the same thing. I'm sure I did this on stream before. I can't remember, so I'm not going to promise I did. But if we pull it from here, daily close to the daily close up here, and we extend it out, guess where the price bounced? I mean,
ta-da!
That's pretty close. And this is what we mean with a general range instead of like an exact point. Because if we frame this from this fib level, the long-term fib level, and then we pull it to this fib level, which is short-term, we have this range where the wicks sometimes end up, right? So I'm not saying it's going to be perfect, but we've decided to use more fib levels because at the moment, the fib levels are hilariously accurate for us. And it, TA, as hopefully you guys have learned by now, that the fib levels or TA in general is just a self, it's a profit that everybody just sees the same thing and then they put their, buy orders for support in the same place. And that's why it works, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we have right now. And from here, what we're waiting for, actually, longer term, what we're waiting for is obviously first the breakout from this pattern right here to get out of that. And once it does do that, we might see some new kind of movements up where the trend changes. I'm not thinking it's going to be one of these huge pumps like this. It could be a slow moving thing. It could be boring as heck, and we could kind of get stuck in this range. Let's see, this fib level range right here, from this fib level all the way down to this where we are right now. Maybe this is our new range now for a while, and that's fine, right?
Yeah.
So we, you can play this range, buy at the bottom, sell at the top if you want to, and just like we did right here, buy at the bottom, sell at the top, and just keep doing it. And that's one of the things you can do, obviously. But Rob, we actually have a pretty cool announcement, unless you have some comments on this, by the way.
No, not really. I mean, we say this, well, I'll expand on it shortly.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So essentially we have been, I thought it was actually publicly available, but it turns out it was only available to a few people. That we have on the Discord server, we have a trade log channel, which had been sat dormant. We weren't using it. But we have brought it to life. And we have taken $100 of, well, I've put $100 in basically, and we are starting to discuss positions. So we're going to keep a trade log of where our entries are, and then talk through and discuss the trade sort of live, as it happens, and in doing so, hopefully prove that we know what we're talking about and make some profit along the way. And then we'll see where it goes. So I do have a trade open, so if you want to just stick my screen on. So it was only a very short-term thing. This is something we're going to there's no real fixed sort of agenda that we're going to do, whether we're going to use just Bitcoin, whether we're going to Ethereum, Solana, XRP, whatever, Shiba. If we see something, we're very unlikely to use Shiba, by the way, because I was joking. But if we may do, if for whatever reason it came to a very clear technical level, and we look to say that it's likely to have a bounce here, we are going to treat this pot as a pure trading pot, and we're going to try and just apply these principles as well as we can to make some money. And so this is currently there is a trade open, so you can see here this is where we opened it. So we opened it during this drop. Ideally, we were looking for a little bit of a better price, but I actually already had it in Bitcoin at the time, so I just moved all but $100 out of that account. So it was basically, that was the price it was when I moved it out. So I took that as our opening price. So yeah, day one, this was where we put our stop loss, 2% loss in there, and we got pretty close. Within $50, it wicked down to about 24,800, and our stop loss was just underneath 24,750.
Can I just add to that, by the way, real quick? The fib level that I just pulled, where it bounced, on the absolute bottom of this range, where that wick is, that fib level ended up at 24,789. That was where that fib level ended up. Yeah. So from the daily close there up to the top.
Yeah, I'll just draw it roughly. It doesn't have to be precise.
Yeah, I think I use the log scale, by the way.
Is it not
for mine?
Log?
Yeah. I'm not sure if yours is. Either way, I just wanted to make that known so you can see how that price literally landed on that, and we added the stop loss just under there, in case it just below that.
Yeah. There we go.
So there you go.
So you see it's basically bang on.
Yeah.
So we stuck our stop loss just below there, and we've been talking as Phil has said it there. We've been talking about a return to this a return to this trend line for months. So since this, we've been saying after this big pump, it was likely to either take a big quick drop down and V back up, or some sort of more slow, sustained drop. And we've been in a clear downtrend now for two and a bit months, and we'd had that retest, and that is a clear, it was a clear support level. So I'll give myself some credit, give Phil some credit. We nailed it, and in doing so, we're now looking for a rise back up towards the top of this channel, and we have had it, and we have taken some off the table so far. I say there's a little bit here and a little bit about here. So, very happy to sold that. I think it was 25% here, and then of what was left, 25% again. And I do have to just move this one. As this pump happened and Phil was talking, I did just sell another 25% right there. So that's kind of we're now I've also moved the stop loss up to, I think currently it's here. So if it comes back down, then we would look to add back towards the bottom of this range. If it gets towards the top, we're looking at will we take all of it off the table? Yeah, maybe, or maybe just keep on moving the stop loss up and see if it breaks and wait for a rollover. But no, so that's currently trade 1 is successful. Oh, and here we go again.
Let's go to the 1 second chart. So what we're saying here is literally we're treating this as a trading account.
Yes.
It's not what I usually do when we talk about, generally when we do TA here, we kind of go over the longer term stuff, which is more of an investor mindset type thing.
Yes.
You want to accumulate more, and then you want to sell it at pristine moments. You want to maybe buy. It's more like a longer term type thing. And we just broke 27K, by the way, which is right there. So for this one, for this trade log that we have, it's more like a trade thing.
Yes.
Mainly that's because we can do a lot more TA, and we can share some insights in that channel more frequently. If we just do this TA Monday thing, so far this year, if we did it just for on a weekly basis, we would have
we'd have probably doubled.
We would have one buy-in. I mean, we would have had one buy-in at the start of the year, basically, if we take it that way, and then we would have sold once it hit the top of the range. I'll just super quickly show that, because we haven't been telling people, but we've been literally talking about, if we started this year, this is the start of the year, we would have sold once it hit this level, it didn't break through, then we would buy back somewhere, which is where this longer term stuff comes in. And then we would probably have tried to sell around this here, but once we saw this breakdown, we would probably have started selling around here. So the trades would have been much more infrequent or whatever.
Really, the proper invalidation was when we dropped below that uptrend and held below it. So where was that? Just left. So as the higher uptrend.
Oh, you're talking
in May. Yeah. So if you look where we would have got out of the trade, May.
Yes,
May,
somewhere.
May. No, further on, May.
Oh, you're talking about May. Okay, yeah, you're talking about here.
So because that point, that was the invalidation of the uptrend. It was a big break of support. It broke below the previous level. There you go. That's a change of pace.
Yep.
At that point, that would be where we would have completely exited the position, and so
that's where the stop loss would sit.
Yeah, and so this is what we are always going to have an invalidation. That's going to be the policy. And so if we've taken a long position, then we will be we'll have a stop loss. And similarly, we might have a short position. Essentially, we're sat in dollars waiting for a lower price. The trade log might be, we think it's going to go down, and here's why. Therefore, we're sitting in dollars, and we don't touch it at all. We also may, at some point, just for funsies, if there was a very clear buy, like say something happened tomorrow, big drop, and everything drops 20-30% to the point where you look and go, this is probably the low for the next several months, then we would then maybe start to dip into leverage trading a little bit, and that would be within a basis of let's show you how to do this with proper risk management, where you do have a stop loss and you are wary of liquidity and these big drops and how you really have to manage your position, take profits, scale out. And even here, so we're scaling out, so that this rally, I think we're currently sitting on around 5% profit. Let's just see.
Secured profit, I believe.
So we've got $60.10, and we have $45.27. So that's 5.3% profit.
Yeah.
And
that's realized profit too, right?
Well, 60% is realized, so some of it has a stop loss in place, but maybe we've guaranteed probably about 4% here.
Yeah.
And that's in one trade that we started on Sunday. I believe it's Sunday.
Could be.
Yeah.
No, wait.
No.
Saturday, I think it must have been.
Saturday.
Something like that. Well, whatever. We started.
Friday. Must have been Friday. Either way. So this is like this. My kind of plan with it is to show how sizing and structuring positions properly, reading the charts objectively, knowing when to get the fuck out and not be involved in a trade, because it's not a good idea to be in a trade, and then scaling out responsibly. If you can make 4% on an up week and not lose any money on a down week, you wait and see how quickly those 4% add up. And this will not be, this isn't going to be trading advice. I'm going to give it kind of as in real time as I can. But sometimes it would be, I would set orders and they hit through the day, and then I would discuss it in the evening. So don't think of this as something to try and copy trade. By all means, if you decide that you agree with what I'm saying and want to take that position yourself, that's on you. Don't follow me, because a lot of people will follow, especially the big YouTubers, where Moon, Carl the Moon, etc., and he will always give two sides and then go exactly as predicted, and 50% of his guys have just got wrecked every single time. And it's just not something to do. Do your own analysis and see if you agree. And
absolutely, I mean, we never pretend to be some type of advisor at all. Like, this is not what we do. But what we do is run this Discord server, right? Which we keep telling everybody to join. So if you haven't, just do that. So what I wanted to show, just to kind of give you an idea, we do have a lot of channels here. We have discussions for basically everything, for beginners as well, where you get a lot of help if you want to start doing this. We have some voice channels for chatting. We have some developer stuff. But here we have for the members lounge, and right there, right now, we have the trade log. So this is what it looks like. Basically just a real-time update on everything that's being done and how we think, or how we think behind the scenes when we start figuring out a trade. And you see it's happening in real time. Rob is always typing up here, what he's going to do, what the thinking behind it is, the reasons to why he's thinking this way. So everything's right here. So this is like a live feed of Rob's or our brains, like here. So if you want to have a look at this, we will move this channel into an open category here. Very shortly, and I think I can just pull it. So I'm just going to pull it right up here and put it. Let's put it in information right there.
I think we need to do a bit of housekeeping. There are too many rooms.
There are too many rooms, but the thing is, Rob and I see all the rooms. A regular member, or in the future Patreon members and everything, will see more and more rooms. So it's actually not that many for
everyday peeps.
We see everything because we're admins. But yes, it's not as it's not this much. Don't worry. So anyway, this is what it looks like.
Golden Goose. Why doesn't he have access to all those channels? Because you have a direct feed to us. You don't need to have access to all those channels.
And, let's be honest, everybody here, everybody has direct line to us almost entirely all the time. Just if you're in the Discord and you're talking there, if you sit in the voice channels, if we see somebody in the voice channels, we will more than likely jump in and have a chat.
And just ping. So always feel free to ping us as well. Like we're not if I'm busy, I'll ignore you. Like that's it's to be quite honest. If I've got something to do, sorry, I'm not going to be talking. However, if I'm free, or if Phil's free, if you want, I've got a question you want answered, then we will get back to you, for sure. Like we're normally not far away from Discord, so it's unlikely to be long. We do like to be accessible. Too accessible, to be completely honest. Both of us.
Whoops. There we go. Yeah, no, we do this because we like to talk to people and teach people and learn from others as well. It's like on more than one occasion, I've learned something from a member on the Discord, like about
and we want more and more of that conversation. Like I want to be learning stuff. I really, really do want people coming in and going, hey, look at what I can do. And our motto setting up this channel was, let's do cool shit with cool people. We've got some cool people in the chat here. But if people want to do some cool shit, for example, if you've got a trading strategy idea and you want to see it put into code, let's do it, because
Yep.
We can do these things,
Yep.
and want to do these things and want to make them available for people. So,
right,
yeah,
exactly. And it's like
more brains together are better.
Yeah, this is a hive mind, you guys. Okay, we're trying to put everybody's brains into one big brain and then do something with that.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, we're I've said this before. We're still trying to work out some stuff for the Patreon so we can actually open it. Unfortunately, we're falling behind schedule because I'll be completely honest. This is not. We don't have any income from this at all right now. The goal sometime in the future is to have some type of income from it, but we can't prioritize this if
$1 million.
Yes, $1 million. That's what a Patreon membership will cost you. No,
that's the value of the Patreon membership you'll receive.
Yes, but you will only pay like $10. But there will be tiers, and we will. I don't know if we should show all that now, what they do, but we've shown it before. But
maybe
we'll sort it out as soon as we can.
First. Yeah.
One of the reasons to why it's taking so long right now is because if we open it now, we have so little to offer that's gonna bring any value for the membership. We have stuff there, but right now we're like, I can't really justify opening it up and having one of you guys paying, $10. Maybe that's not a lot of money, but it's still $10, and you get almost nothing. You only get like a few strategies. We want to make sure that it's a bunch of strategies, a bunch of indicators, and we have to code these and figure them out and test them. And it's a bunch of stuff to do. So
that's what we
sorry, but we're trying.
Yeah, but we know we're good with collabing, and
anybody
say if anybody's got any good ideas, we're always happy to listen.
Yes.
And Bitcoin's deciding if it's put in a top or not.
Did we take profits on the?
Yeah,
20, we did.
26,924. So not perfect, but it was. Where that yellow line is.
Yeah, a less than 2 billion. Well, that's in the middle of the range right there, so it's basically perfect in my book.
Originally, though, the order was there, and after it nearly touched it and then dropped, I just kind of as I saw this one, I thought maybe if it doesn't reach it, it was so close to where the order was anyway. So I just put in a sell when it, and fine. It doesn't, in terms of this particular one, that was like, 0.2% profit on 25% of it. So it was 0.05% profit, but it took 20% off the table in the 25% off the table in the event of it turns around and tops. I'd rather not miss out for the sake of tiny fractions of a percent. Although those fractions of a percent do add up. So, don't front run yourself too early. If you've got conviction in a trade and you say, I thought it was going to we thought it was going to pump to 27K. I could have just left that order there. It would have hit.
Yep.
But seeing it get so close, I'd have been happy to leave that order. If I wasn't watching the chart right now, I'd have gone, oh, sweet, it hit.
Yep.
But watching it live, sometimes you can look and go, it's never a bad idea to take profit. Ever, 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 ever. It is never a bad idea.
You're not going to lose money taking profits.
Yes.
Right?
And that is this, that's what this, this plan is, capital preservation first and foremost. It's about showing how technical analysis can generate consistent profits. And, if you could make 4% per year for, if you could make 4% per week for a year, that is 668% profit in a year. That is
a lot.
You do that for, and I realize we've only done it for one trade. Whether or not, if we were right half the time, then maybe our average will be lower than that. Let's see. Maybe our average will be more than that because we're that good. I'm not going to get cocky, but no. If I genuinely believe that, given how consistent and how objective and how accountable being on this channel has made our analysis, together, I'm so much more aware of my biases now than I was before, because we're talking, and this is we never intend to delete these videos off the internet, so unless we get plagued by the YouTube algorithm, this will sit there forever as a this is what we said. And
it's gonna be one of these things where it's like, let's say in 6 years, when, let's pretend that we have 100,000 subscribers and people know who we are, generally speaking, in the crypto space, and then somebody's gonna go back to this moment, say like, Rob said this thing once, and then we're gonna get canceled.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure too. So I want to finish this off right now, just a little bit, by jumping into maybe seeing where we think it might go if it breaks out. Because this is what we're looking for. We're looking for a breakout, right?
Yeah.
From this range.
So I've just, as things stand, this is still a downtrend, right? So,
yep.
We as in terms of this current open trade, we're treating it as a downtrend, and we would be out of this position at the top of the range, and we would re-enter after a breakout on a retest of the range, because that is the sensible thing to do. That is good trading practice. And if we give up 1% of gains in the process, so be it.
Yeah.
We may also not enter with our full position. We might say we'll go half in here and then scale back in towards the bottom of the range, because there's a fair amount of resistance there to turn around, and it may break through, but my gut feeling, my 2018 to 2020 bear market PTSD tells me that any breakout we get here would fail to break the top put in May, at the end of May. It's at 28,400. Yep. I wouldn't expect us to break that. If we did, and then I'd be more bullish. But as things stand, I think that we're kind of closer. More consolidation is likely. That consolidation would bring us back to that uptrend, and if we get close to it at the same time where something bad happens, then we know what happens. We smash through it, and we're dropping back down to,
maybe we test the fib level again, right?
Yeah, we'd retest at least that level. So as things stand here, this is a take profit position, not a let's hold and hope that it breaks out, because holding and hoping isn't good trading practice.
So I can tell you what I'm seeing just from looking at this, like here. I just pulled that fib level that we had before where it bounced, and we want to break through this. That breaks the trend, right? This is the trend, and then we have the fib level here, which might act as resistance. However, it's not really correlated to anything else harshly, except for maybe this bounce here, and maybe this range right here. So I'm not thinking that's going to be much of a resistance. It's going to be some resistance, but I don't think it's going to be major. So if we do break this and we come up and we do break this as well, the first thing I see is this. If we create a higher high beyond this one, that's when we start confirming that uptrend, the uptrend momentum, right?
Yeah.
So in that case, if we pull a trend line, let's say it bounces here, or it breaks through here, then we want to see some kind of trend line pointing upwards, even if it's just very slightly. Then we're going to see that the uptrend starting there, and then we can actually start removing some old lines. But then again, we have more resistance here.
No, so let's keep those lines, because it'll be really fun.
We're keeping them.
It'd be really fun in November if we got a flash crash down to 20k and some old support line. It'd be nice.
Yeah. So that's what I'm seeing. And if it really starts pumping here, let's say it does one of these moves right here, which I think is fairly unlikely.
Also possible. It's possible, but unlikely, but possible. And that's we have. This is we really do want to start trying to nail it for ourselves, where we can assess the possibilities and position ourselves accordingly.
Yeah.
For example, if you're unsure and you've got a 50-50, well, you should be half in. with a stop loss in both directions, i.e., a buy-in above a certain price and a stop loss below that the current price.
Yeah. So
that's how we'll be doing it.
Yeah, precisely. So what I'm seeing here again, the resistances are here, like we said. Then we have this top that it needs to break, because it needs to, in the longer time frame, it needs to create a higher high here as well, like it did here. It's a higher high. It created a new one and then a new one. The uptrend was clear. Now we're in a downtrend. But in the longer term, it's still actually, this line is more like here now, and we have that channel going, right? So arguably,
you could if you raise it to the daily close for that yellow line.
So just let me just go over this. So
doing it wrong.
Well, I'm just pointing out this channel that we're kind of in right now.
Yeah.
You can see it. It's clear as day to me, at least.
And that's that I would like to see a nice giga pump out of that 28k range. That is possible. That is very, very possible.
Yep.
What is also clear, as you see at the bottom, is we've really just averaged out everything and reset all the indicators. So
yeah. That was my next point, actually.
Well done.
The RSI right now, I'm just going to open this up just to make it clear. The RSI is breaking upwards, so we need to we want to see this yellow line, for me at least. I want to see this yellow average line go above the middle, which makes me feel like we got momentum upwards on the RSI. And the thing is, we haven't actually hit the bottom of it. We haven't gone outside of it, which usually happens. Usually is where, we have this at the bottom here, it's oversold. Then we have this, bottom right here. But still, if we're looking at this here, the bottom was here. And then we had this major pump in the beginning of the year, and the RSI was nowhere near the bottom, which is kind of where we are right now. And we can still see something like this.
But see, what I would expect to see in that sort of sense would be a lower pump. I expect to see a higher high, but bearish divergence on the daily or weekly RSI, which would show kind of what's to come. There's definitely room to the downside on the medium term, just looking at this chart, but there's more room to pump up as well. And say that the RSI is just representing that. We're sat just in no man's land in this range towards we're deciding now if this is the bottom of the range or we're gonna drop below it, in which case we go back into the old range, and everything's just going to keep being boring for a while. This is as much as we're going. We started going, woo, Bitcoin's pumping. This is a puny move. Come on, do something.
It's not done anything. It's just for now. It's just bounced on some significant levels, but it hasn't confirmed a new trend upwards or anything.
It's just standard volatility. And,
yes.
It's clear. Just this chart here. This amount, what you can see right here, is so perfect as how Bitcoin is it collapses or it gigapumps. And when it does that, it's going to move up to the next level. And then it's going to go sideways while people decide, is this a fair price or not? And, there is a fair case that on the back of all the other cryptos, and I will just, I don't even need to look, but let's see if you just put my screen on for a second. Is if I just go to the orange list, then on the Bitcoin, so the orange list is my Bitcoin coins, my Bitcoin pairs, and the majority of them are red against Bitcoin. And I've got some real shit, but there's a lot of things that are just, BNB has broken below this very major trend line. It broke it in a big way. It then broke this trend line at the same in the same week. Let's just zoom in here.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. It's like as soon as it breaks something, when it breaks, it falls or pumps.
It breaks fucking hard. That's like these things break hard, and there is no liquidity in the altcoin market. And I just, not financial advice, but it's definitely a word of caution. This is not a speculative period in the market, and these coins are still speculative, risky assets that the SEC is last week kind of just semi-declared a war on, that most of them are securities, and Binance responded negatively with a lot of exchanges responded very negatively. Yep. And look at Chainlink. Chainlink has been the high versus Bitcoin was August 2020. I mean, yep. If there are any Chainlink fans left, you poor souls.
I mean,
because Chainlink's a brilliant project, but it's in terms of investment, its speculative days are over. It's now a pretty solid investment if you are a relatively boring investor. If you are somebody who's going to pick a basket of gold standard cryptos, Chainlink's probably going to be in there. And will it make a new high? I'm fairly confident at some point it'll break I think about $50 it hit last time. I very, very much doubt it'll make a new all-time high versus Bitcoin. And
versus Bitcoin, no, I don't think so.
Look at this on the linear chart, and actually, you can look at, rather than looking on the log chart, you should look at Bitcoin pairs on the linear chart, because it's a comparison between two. And Glimmer, GMX, BNB, like, it's just a bloodbath across the board, and this isn't going to stop anytime soon.
Yeah, and I mean, even everybody has to keep in mind that against the dollar, things might look great, right? But when you compare it to something like Bitcoin, and everything is consistently going down against Bitcoin, then that's why it's important to look at the Bitcoin pairs. Even Ethereum versus Bitcoin, Solana versus Bitcoin, everybody knows.
I don't know what analysis I was doing there, but I got that one right, didn't I? Was I talking about a double top in ETH BTC?
Yeah, and I think so.
Can I just point out, I did get out of that ETH position at that right near that double top.
Oh, right. So, we spoke. That's when we spoke about it last time, I think.
Yeah. And when it happened, we were looking. So it must have been here, and we were talking about this breakdown, break up. We got the break up. I got the fuck out, and here we are. So, but that's and so ETH right now. I'm not. This is from September. This is 9 months old now. Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, double top breakdown. This is not bullish as it stands. I bought the bottom of the range. Again, similar to how we're doing with this Bitcoin thing, because we're playing the range. So I bought the bottom of the range fairly confidently, with an expectation of selling the top of the range, because it's still a bearish asset.
Yep.
And Avalanche, Avalanche holders. Absolutely.
Can I just point something out real quick? Yeah. Can you go back to the ETH BTC pair?
Yeah.
Because if you look at this now, everybody, you see how this double top. This is basically the same pattern that we're doing that we just showed on Bitcoin versus the US dollar. And once it breaks out of that, the yellow lines that I had, we want to see it go above that, make a higher high, right? That's what we just talked about. And here we want to wait for the confirmation of that. So here in this example on ETH BTC, we saw ETH failing to create a higher high against Bitcoin, and then it fell over, which is why you want to wait for that confirmation that it actually does close a daily candle or something above that to create that higher high. And then maybe it breaks down a little bit, and then you can get into a position, for example, right? So that's why we're waiting for that, and that's the justification for thinking like that. Just so it's clear.
Yeah. I mean, so this, you've got to remember, like, traders will very, very rarely outtrade a bull market. When things start going mental, the best thing that you can do is just strap on, hold on for it is just hold on for dear life. It's very true. Wait for the giga pump, and then you begin to scale out. You take you see something that's in 500% profit, you sell 20%, you get your original money back as for job number one, and then you start going, okay, I'm now going to start taking significant chunks of profit. And you've got to think, if something goes from bottom to top 20,000%, a good trader will take 4,000 or 5,000% out of that. They're going to ride the majority of the wave.
Yeah.
Because nobody knows where the top is. And if all you do every single time is go, oh, it's going to make a new high, it may well make a new high until it doesn't. And when these things reverse, a lot of the time, an actual technical reversal, they've got to drop 50, 60% before they even reverse below their previous low. So they can suffer these horrific, horrible, nasty drops. And during this period of dry liquidity, you know, Doge, I think there's still Doge holders who made absolute fortunes and then just have let it dwindle versus Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And just be in the fastest horse and don't be caught in these coins that right now nobody wants.
Yeah. So cool. I think we should start to round this off. I just want to point something out as well, because I caught something that you said there, which is a good trader would get in and then strap in and just wait until they see a topping signal on the long term. So they ride the exponential move, and then they start selling off. And that brings me on to the first strategy that we're going to publish, which is the one that we've showed you a couple of times. And I just want to show you how we managed to actually get that kind of mentality into a strategy. This is going to look really iffy. And maybe I should try to remove some of the stuff here. There we go. That's easier. So I removed the volume bands. So it's going to look kind of clustered.
If you click the eye just above the bin, it'll hide all your drawings.
Yeah, you're right. So there we go. So what we're doing here
hang on.
That hides the whole thing. Never mind.
You can hide. You can choose to hide one or the other.
You should have a little. You're right.
It's got a little arrow.
Hide
drawings.
Hide drawings. Yeah, there we go.
There you go.
Thank you. I keep forgetting that. I don't use that very often because I'm so in tune with my home TA. So anyways, what I want to show here is the way that this strategy does what it does is it buys stuff and then it waits. We managed to make it kind of it needs a weekly sell indicator to start the daily indicators, right? So this is why you see this. You see a bunch of buying orders down here, and then an exponential move happens and nothing is selling off, right? Before we had that tuned in, it was selling like every top right here on the way up, which is not bad, but we wanted to dodge the selling too much on the way up and then not having as much to sell off at the top, which made it a lot more profitable.
Yeah, because Bitcoin does have such big moves up, then it's very easy for it to get technically overbought, but then it just doesn't really care and just stays overbought for days or weeks on end.
Yeah, and so it did this right here. It waited for this, and then it had a sell order right here, very close to the top, and then it started buying back in, sold some stuff here, and then we bought back, and then we just waited, and then up here we have a weekly sell order, and then you start selling off the tops for the dailies, which is being hit, by the way, incredibly well, I have to say. I mean, these two right here, that's the three perfect tops, basically, right here and here. So it's doing its job as it should, right? But now, where we are right now is right here, which is, it's bought literally like the perfect bottom of this bear market. One big buy. And then it's doing nothing. And that's because we don't have that weekly sell yet, right? We don't have this. It's not telling us to sell yet. It's waiting. And if it goes down from here, no loss. You could have sold, yeah, sure. But this is more of an accumulator that would sell longer term positions. So that's what this strategy is for. And if you're not that type of person, this is basically my brain enhanced by Rob's brain, and we got some help from Plippy as well. Thank you, Plippy, for this, with some coding, and we managed to get this to work. So basically what this is my brain in code with a bunch of enhancements from Rob and Plippy. So that's what you can do if you just come and talk to us. We can probably sort something, like we can maybe put your brain on the charts, which is pretty cool, I have to say.
Tell us your brain.
Yeah. Come talk to us. Brain. Come talk to us at Crypto Talk about your brain.
Yep.
Some side effects may include but having a lot of fun. But yeah, so I just wanted to show that. But I think it's time to kind of round this off because I honestly need a shower because I haven't showered yet today. and I'm dirty. So
you're a dirty boy.
Yeah, it is what it is. You come home from work, you eat, you jump down here, you do this stuff, then you shower. Priorities, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and by the way, everybody who's been chatting, thanks for talking, and we've been looking at the chart, at the chat as well. I see Jay is here, Kavik is here, Golden Goose is still around, Imre is here. Yuan, a friend of mine, actually just jumped in. I know he's been watching. We'll see you in the Discord, guys, right? Just remember, you gotta like, follow, subscribe, all these internet things that I don't remember.
The internet stuffs.
Yeah, just follow and all that stuff, and tell everybody you ever known about this channel. Your mom, your other mom, your dad, your cat, everybody just has to know. It's just
dad's mistress.
Yeah. Tell everybody, your fridge, anyone. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yep. The fridge is an important part of a man's life.
Shut up, Phil. Turn it off.
I'm gonna turn it off now. Well,
bye.
Okay, cool. We'll see you in Discord, guys. We'll jump in for a while. Cheers.